You remember the Smurfs, right? Those cute little blue creatures, always smiling, always living in peace and friendship. For years, we thought they were teaching us about love and kindness. But when you look behind the curtain, things aren't so innocent. The Smurf village is basically a communist cult society. Think about it, everyone in the village works. Farmer plants, handy builds, chef cooks, but none of them ever really own what they produce. Bigger houses, more food, freedom to live as they want. No, because everything is controlled by one single figure, Papa Smurf. Have you noticed Papa Smurf's outfit? That bright red hat, those red clothes, he's the only one dressed differently. It's not just a fashion choice, it's a symbol of power. He's set apart as the leader. And here's the weirdest part. Papa Smurf is the only one who can leave the village whenever he wants. The others, they're basically trapped. They can't step outside. We grew up thinking it was the symbol of perfect harmony, but in reality, it's run more like North Korea. And now for the strangest part. There's only one woman in the whole village. Yep, one Smurfette surrounded by 100 blue dudes. How does that even make sense? Every episode, all the male Smurfs are competing for her attention, fighting over her, circling around like moths to a flame. With no other women around, the whole village automatically turns into this weird, frustrated environment. As kids, we thought it was cute and innocent, but when you really think about it, the Smurf village is more like a bizarre social experiment. One woman, 100 desperate men. Why are the Smurfs always so happy? The answer is simple, Smurf berries. They're not just fruit, they're addictive. They trigger dopamine in the brain, making every Smurf act like they've just won the lottery. That's why they're always smiling, but take the berries away. And suddenly the village turns into chaos. Fights break out, everyone becomes aggressive. Think about Brainy Smurf. He's always coming up with ideas, always trying something new. But every time, he gets mocked, punished, pushed aside. Farmer Smurf, he doesn't even get to eat what he grows. His crops are taken and redistributed. Handy Smurf builds something new, and somehow, an accident destroys it. But the useless ones, like greedy, lazy, or vanity, they're always protected. Because in this village, creativity, and who's at the top of it all? Papa Smurf. He's not just a leader, he's the judge, the ruler, the one who controls every aspect of life. The whole system exists to keep his power intact. Now, let's talk about Gargamel. As kids, we thought he was the villain. He wants to eat the Smurfs, right? But actually, Gargamel is the only one fighting against this cult. Sure, he's greedy and ambitious. But he's also the only one standing up to their expansion, building dams to control the water, enslaving animals, taking over the forest piece by piece. And look at his cat, Azrael. Unlike the other enslaved animals in the Smurf universe, Azrael isn't controlled by magic. He stays with Gargamel because of loyalty, even love. If he wanted to leave, he could. But he doesn't. That alone shows Gargamel isn't as evil as we were told. There's also the religious side. The Smurfs have no faith, no worship, nothing spiritual in their village. Gargamel, on the other hand, wears a robe that looks just like a priest. Symbolically, he's the priest fighting against a godless cult. And if you pay attention, you'll see that the 7 deadly sins are all right there in Smurf village. Greedy Smurf gives gluttony. Lazy Smurf gives sloth. Vanity Smurf gives pride. Grouchy Smurf gives wrath. Smurfette gives lust. Brainy Smurf gives greed. And jealousy spreads among the rest. So what does that mean? It means the Smurfs weren't really innocent role models for kids. Their village was built on addiction, control, and hypocrisy. A one-man dictatorship, with no freedom, no religion, and a messed up gender imbalance. And Gargamel, the so-called villain, he wasn't a monster at all. He was the misunderstood hero, the only one who dared to fight back against the cult of the Smurfs.